This week, we explore acceptance. Acceptance is often misunderstood. It can sound passive, almost like giving up. But true acceptance is something very different. Acceptance is the willingness to see clearly, to stop negotiating with reality, to acknowledge quietly and honestly, this is where I am now. The life you're living, the situation you're in, the thoughts that return, the emotions that move through you, the parts of yourself you find easy to love, and the parts you would rather hide. Acceptance simply says, this is here. And for a moment, I stop arguing with that. While you're listening, you might gently ask yourself now, where in my life am I still resisting what is already here? And what would it feel like, just for a moment, to stop arguing with exactly that? Acceptance is not passive or indifferent. It is what it is. It's not saying this is all I deserve. In fact, the opposite is true. Acceptance can be the beginning of change, not the end of it. There's also something happening here in your body. Every time you resist what is, your system tightens. It's a subtle activation, if you wish, a sense of urgency, of needing things to be different, of a reality that's just not right. There's resistance. The nervous system moves into a state of alert. Something is off. We become more tense, we contract, we become more defensive for potential danger. Perhaps we want to distract from what is. But when you allow what is here, even just a little, the body begins to soften, the breath deepens, the muscles release, the system shifts out of survival and into regulation. Acceptance is not only a mental act, it's physiological. You're signaling to your body, in this moment, I'm safe enough to simply be here. You might notice, right here, right now, what happens in my body when I stop resisting, even briefly. Where can I soften just a little? Now, many of us have learned to live with a quiet pressure inside, a constant sense that things should be better, that we should be better, that we should be further along on the path, whatever path. We should be more calm, more successful, more certain, more self-confident, more in control, more. But perfection is a moving target. The moment you think you're close, the mind shifts the standard again. And so we keep striving. And underneath that striving, there's often a subtle discontent. According to the Buddha, discontentment, dukkha, or primary source of unhappiness, suffering. So you might ask yourself, what standard of perfection am I still trying to meet? And what if, just for a moment, I can embrace the idea that nothing is wrong with me? I'm actually perfectly imperfect. Acceptance softens this weird inner pressure. It allows you to be human, in process, imperfect, unfinished. It's the paradox of Carl Rogers, right? The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. And this is where a more honest kind of growth begins. Acceptance also includes responsibility. Not blame, not judgment, not harshness, but ownership. I am here, in this life, in these circumstances. all the nice ones, all the not so nice ones. It is because of 1,000 choices, conscious and unconscious. And now I'm willing to see that. Can you take full ownership of where you are without becoming very harsh with yourself? No need for that. What has this situation given me? Even if I no longer want to stay in it. Because there's something so empowering in that. Because the moment you take responsibility, you're no longer a victim of your own life. You become a participant. You can get into the driver's seat even. Because from there, we arrive at an important paradox again. Acceptance says, this is what is. Growth says, this is not all that is possible. And both are true. Because if I do not accept my current reality, it is what it is. This is it. This is life. This is who I am. My desire for something else often comes from resistance. Because you don't like it, from tension, from urgency, from a body that is still in survival mode. But when I accept fully what is, something relaxes. The nervous system settles, no danger. The mind becomes clearer. And this is the moment where creation becomes possible. Because you're no longer reacting to your past. You're no longer rehearsing the same emotional patterns. Instead, you're creating space to ask, what would truly serve me now? What am I ready to move towards? What am I quietly longing for at this point in my life? And can I allow that desire without rejecting my present reality? This is where I want to go to. And then this all happens from a more regulated, more coherent state, because you begin to think differently, not from lack, not from resistance to what is, but from possibility. Not from fear, but from openness. And here, intention becomes so much more than a thought. You begin to feel it. You can sense the future you're moving towards, as if it already exists as a possibility within you. Not as something you chase, but as something you start to embody. And the body doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a deeply felt inner one. So what you repeatedly feel, you begin to wire into your system. And this is where manifestation deepens. Not by rejecting what is, but by becoming internally aligned with what could be. Let me give you some easy to understand examples. Perhaps you're single and you long for a relationship. Can you fully accept that being single, that this is your reality right now? You are single right now. Without making it mean something about your own self-worth. No, it just is. You are single. You accept that this is the now, the present moment. And, not but and at the same time, you feel that you're ready for a loving relationship with someone. Can you then allow yourself to begin to feel what it would be like to be in a loving, connected relationship? To feel supported, to allow someone to take care of you, to be seen, to truly connect, to be vulnerable, to be at ease with someone who starts to see the real you. And allow your body to become familiar with that state. Another example, perhaps you're in a job that no longer fits you. Can you acknowledge that this job has served you in some way or another? Accept what it is now. Be thankful even, because it has served you till now. and not but, and also sense what kind of work would nourish you more right now. Not only as an idea, but as a felt experience. How would a new job, whatever it is, the how is not important, how would a new job, how would it make you feel? How do you want to feel in this new environment? And this is where acceptance and manifestation meet. Acceptance stabilizes your system, brings you out of resistance, and from there you begin to consciously create. Adjust your current reality. Adjusting is our third theme, our third week of the challenge. So this week is acceptance. This week is also where loving kindness, metta, deepens. Because it's very difficult to offer love to what we're still rejecting. So this week, as we move into loving kindness practices on Wednesday, you're invited to include everything. The parts of you that feel open, the parts of you that feel contracted, the parts you're proud of, the parts you still judge. And you might gently ask yourself, which part of myself do I find hardest to accept? And can I meet that part, even if it's just a little, with kindness? For now, nothing needs to be different. You could just rest here in this moment, in this breath, allowing life to meet you exactly where you are. And from here, quietly and gently, something new can begin. That's exciting. So let's take another minute or so to just be here. If you had your eyes open, perhaps you can close them for a moment. And just observe what happened in these 12 minutes that you were listening. A lot of words, a lot of ideas, a lot of questions. Just give it a moment. Nothing too much that you have to do. You can always observe the breath. I'll be silent for the next 30 seconds or so. Just relax. You can stay here, of course. Perhaps put your timer, do an actual meditation, or you can just continue your day. Thank you.